It's extremely important to have everyone aligned so that everyone is tracking towards the same goal. Having a defined roadmap and a project plan is great, but if all the groups within the org are not in agreement, it's going to pose a lot of risk within the project. For example, the HR team needs to be aligned with accounting needs to be aligned with FP&A, accounting needs to be aligned with supply chain, and every one of those groups needs to be aligned with IT, right? So why do you need this? Well, there's so many interdependencies between the pillars and modules in Oracle Cloud, and there are a lot of benefits to be reaped, but it takes alignment across the board. And this is probably the most challenging one out of the 5 for companies. Everybody has competing initiatives, people have different budgets, there's politics involved, but the quicker you can break down some of those barriers, the better. And ultimately, it'll foster a successful implementation if you're able to align everybody. So Tom is going to talk a little bit more about aligning your business teams internally.
Awesome, thanks Zubin. Zubin, and you nailed it in terms of breaking down barriers. We're really going to talk alignment here and the 3 C's of alignment, which is going to be collaborate, consensus, and communicate. The process starts with identifying key stakeholders and influencers and collaborating with them to establish a vision for this project. And establishing a clear vision is really going to be critical in getting all those parties on board. And I really point back to the identify section of our webinar here, where we talk about identifying business objectives and really using those as part of creating our vision for this project, where we collaborate with these key stakeholders. And if you think about those 3 key areas of people, process, and technology, our vision statement can be built right out of there. And think about this as being strategic as well as tactical statements that can ultimately build out this vision. We don't want it just to be focused on IT or on the business. We want this to be a very collaborative vision statement for the organization. So if we jump into people for a second, think about unified user experience. If we talk about process, automation, efficiencies. If we talk about technology, increased security and reduced IT spend. These are all bullets that can help us build out this collaborative vision that gives us a clear space in terms of where we want to go to. So that's the first piece: collaborate, key stakeholders, establish the vision. The next piece is to get consensus. So alignment across IT and business to that vision that we just created. And we talked about creating this vision that's going to satisfy a lot of different groups. So it's not just business focused, it's not just IT focused. It's going to be focused across the organization, and really that alignment is going to drive success for this project. Of course, we're going to have naysayers, we're going to have opposition, but building out this collaborative vision and getting consensus with those within the organization can really help align this project and lead it to success. And then really the final piece is going to be communicate. So early and often, as much as possible, right? Constant communication is critical. That level of transparency is going to promote buy-in. And think about the transparency that we have in these 3 C's. So we're starting very early in the process, collaborating and identifying that vision. We're aligning to that vision, and then we're going to continue to communicate what that vision is all the way throughout the project process. I think we've all been on the receiving end of a project that sort of snuck up on us, where it wasn't a collaborative process, we didn't know it was coming, and those projects oftentimes fail. So I think the level of communication, like I said, early and often can lead to success, and that level of transparency can get us to a successful finish line.
Thanks, Tom. Yeah, no, you bring up a lot of good points. Thinking back to some of my prior projects, I feel like I've seen some level of misalignment on probably 95% of them. And so I think really heeding your 3 C's are paramount for helping customers take the right first step on their Oracle Cloud project.